The gods gave us many gifts. One day you'll know them all. This is where we keep them.
It's beautiful. Who would wield it?
Only the fiercest among us even could. And that is not you, Diana. You will train her harder than any Amazon before her. 5 times harder. 10 times harder.
Never let your guard down. You expect the battle to be fair!
Until she is better than even you. But she must never know the truth about what she is.
What is this place? Who are you?
It is our sacred duty to defend the world.
Right. Whoever you are in more danger than you think.
Be careful, Diana.
If no one else will defend the world, then I must.
Welcome to jolly old London.
It's hideous.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
Step back. Or maybe not. Is there anything else you want to show me?
I am Diana of Themyscira, daughter of Hippolyta. In the name of all that is good, your wrath upon this world is over.
Yep, that's not gonna work. Please put the sword down.
It doesn't go with the outfit.
At all.
Holy crap, everybody, new Wonder Woman footage, let's break it down. The really cool thing too is that a bunch of people got to visit the edit bay. Jeff Johns has been helping edit the film. They explained about the first third of the film, so it has a lot of context for this footage. I'll try to explain it all. But I'm giving away new flash rings. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. Here we go. Really badass look at the way her powers work. You only got like a taste of her during Batman v Superman, and even though you probably guessed before based on this picture of the Louvre here, she is actually picking up in the opening moments of the film right after the end of Batman v Superman. So there's sort of like an unbroken line where Batman is sending her this package with the photo that she was trying to get from Lex Luthor during that last movie. The group in the photo that shows up during the trailer is sort of like this ragtag band of people that she puts together that are made up of allies that are trying to take down the Danny Houston villain character's plan. So I know there are a whole bunch of questions about who he's playing, who Ares is, and what's going on with this Dr. Poison character here. They changed her name just a little bit, but she is confirmed as the Dr. Poison of the movies. So don't worry, it all totally works, but it's basically a flashback movie. But you pick up in present day, then you flash back as she's remembering her childhood on Themyscira. So it's a lot like Minas Tirith, if you remember the Lord of the Rings movies, where it's sort of built into the side of a mountain. But you pick up with her when she's about 8 years old in the way they handle all the expository dialogue. You know, this is who she is, these are who the gods are, this is how they figure into the world, is through a bedtime story, which is a very movie thing to do. But you get a sense of the majesty of Themyscira, you meet some of the important characters, you learn what happened to Zeus, why he's not around, why Ares is so bad, why the Amazons themselves were created, what their relationship with man is. So I'll say right off the bat, David Thewlis is confirmed as Ares, but I'll explain him in just a little bit. So you see a bit of a training montage here, her at about 15 years old, her as she gets older. There was the teaser footage of her learning about the gauntlets. So she has this great power that goes far beyond that of Amazons, but they sort of skirt the issue about how she's the daughter of Zeus and Hippolyta. For most of her life, she only knows that she's the daughter of Hippolyta. She doesn't know too much about her purpose, only that she wants to be a warrior and recognizes the threat of Ares once Steve Trevor enters the story much later. But most of her early life here is just spent trying to become a badass, just like the other Amazon she sees around her. So Robin Wright Penn is playing Hippolyta's sister, who trains her secretly because Hippolyta disallows it. But jumping back, just to give it some more context, so the way they explain the Amazons and how they exist in the world is that originally Zeus created man to coexist with the gods. Everybody was having a great time. Ares, David Thewlis's character, got jealous, so he turned man on himself. The gods intervened, but in order to stop that, Ares started killing the other gods. Zeus created the Amazons to help fight against Ares, but Ares was able to use man to enslave the Amazons. Eventually, Zeus, using the God Killer sword, Wonder Woman sword that she has in all these trailers, I'll explain that in a second, uses that to gravely wound Ares, but Ares is able to kill Zeus. With his dying breath, he creates Themyscira so the Amazons can escape the slavery of man and they hide out. So the Amazons hate man because they were enslaved by them. That explains why they haven't helped out before and why it's such a big deal when Steve Trevor, a man, lands on their island at the beginning of World War I. So that's when you pick up with Wonder Woman as a child. Ares goes away. You don't hear about him till much later in the film when Steve Trevor enters. He crash lands on Themyscira. He has secret plans that he's stolen from the Axis about a bioweapon they're creating with this character here, the Dr. Poison character, and Danny Huston's character. So they lasso him up and you learn the story about what's going on with World War I. Wonder Woman herself is horrified by this and feels like Ares is behind it all. This brand new gas, weapon of mass destruction. So she agrees to help Steve Trevor escape the island if he'll take her with him so that she can kill Ares. So that's where you get to this scene right here where she steals the God Killer sword. It is very literally a God Killer sword. It's imbued with great power by Zeus and steals her signature red, blue, and gold uniform, which was also presumably left by Zeus. But they don't over-explain why it's that color and how it's more special than other armor. You sort of discover that through the course of the film, but that's also where the gauntlets come in too. These are all God-created artifacts by Zeus left behind after he died. So Wonder Woman, armored up, goes with Steve Trevor, and that sort of sets off the plot of the film, where you see them walking here through London, you see them run into Etta Candy, a lot of the other big Wonder Woman characters from the comics. They find out that the Allies aren't super hot on trying to stop this bioweapon either. They don't believe Steve Trevor that much too, in the way that the Amazons didn't want to help out either. So Steve Trevor's kind of an outsider amongst man. Wonder Woman is also kind of an outsider amongst her own people too. So that brings them together. They form this ragtag group of people that you see in the picture here, the black and white picture, and they go on the special mission to try and stop Danny Huston's character. But Wonder Woman is also on a mission to try and stop Ares. Steve Trevor totally does not buy into the idea of gods or any of this crazy mystical stuff that Wonder Woman is trying to sell him on. So that's sort of how they handle the mythology in the film. Just like most people don't believe it till they see it. So Ares is a really weird character too. You think he's getting involved in World War I, trying to stir up trouble, get man to kill itself. You kind of wonder what the most effective way to do that is, because he wants to breed war. So the interesting thing is that he's playing this British lord, so he's not wearing his armor for most of the film. There are parts of it where you see the grand, terrible Ares and like the animated sequence when they're telling the prehistory of Wonder Woman before she herself was born. And through most of the film, he's this British lord character masquerading as an advisor to the Allies, trying to push everyone else into the war. So like imagine if America hadn't joined the war. Imagine if Britain hadn't joined the war. So like a lot of the film takes place in London. He will probably show up in the London sequences. So that's sort of how Wonder Woman sidesteps the problem that a lot of superhero movies run into, where there's a big villain, hero walks up, punches him in the face, end movie. It's more that Ares is the guy behind the guy. Sort of like a tee-up for the idea of Darkseid in Steppenwolf. So Steppenwolf comes to Earth in the Justice League movie, searching for the mother boxes on the orders of Darkseid. Then you have the Axis powers here developing this weapon with the help of Dr. Poison, and Ares sort of pulling the strings on a much grander scale, like trying to get whole countries to join the war so that it will breed more war and make things worse, which is a crazy idea. I love the way they're dealing with history in this, but by that explanation, this benefits Ares. So, throughout all this, you have Wonder Woman and her small band of people. The film follows them around through the second and third acts, but what I'm expecting is, because you can't tease Ares in a film like this and have her bring the God Killer sword and all of her special Zeus-created armor and weapons to try and take him down, and then not pay that off. So there will be some sort of confrontation with Ares eventually, but it'll be interesting to see how the movie resolves his storyline, because in present day, Wonder Woman has sort of stepped back from humanity. That was the whole thing in Batman v Superman, is that she was coming back and taking a more active role. The implication is that something at the end of Wonder Woman that's really terrible happens, and it's probably going to be Steve Trevor's death, because just like Peggy Carter, Steve Trevor would have already died of natural causes, because remember, this is World War I, so this is many years before World War II. He would have to have some seriously good genetics to survive that long. Let me know in the comments though, what do you think the film is going to do with Ares at the end? Because you can kill gods temporarily, but what happens when gods die is that new gods are born. That's actually a quote from a Jeff Johns comic book from Darkseid War, where they're able to kill Darkseid, but he's just reborn into another form. So the Wonder Woman comics during the New 52 tried to address some of that, where Zeus is reborn as a baby, Wonder Woman has to care for him for a brief period. So killing the gods off, whether you're talking about Superman or Zeus or anything else from the Wonder Woman universe, is just a way to create dramatic tension, because if you have an all-powerful god available, they can step in at any time, snap their fingers, and all your problems go away. It's just a really big problem for storytelling. But congratulations to this week's Flash Ring giveaway winner, Ninja Ned 99. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. There was a new round that started in this video, so I'll post a new Guardians trailer video in a little while. That should be up in a couple hours. While you wait for that, click here for the new Game of Thrones trailer, and click here to learn all about the Black Order during Infinity War. Thank you so much for watching. Let's high five. I'll see you guys in the next video.